Hello and welcome to another Overlord lore video, and thanks to my Patreons for supporting this channel. After Overlord had a pretty good run, over 14 books, numerous side stories, and a bonus volume about Evil Eye, one of the most interesting questions to ask is, now that there are only 3 books left, how might Einzelgaun's story end? And the first idea I had is in a complete disaster. Albedo's death squad seems to become even more acute of a threat after volume 14, with Albedo contemplating on how to best avoid scrutiny from Demiurge, and how to control powerful NPCs. Interestingly enough, Rubedo, despite the two of them being sisters, seems only to do Albedo's bidding, because Ainz had ordered her to do so, which might suggest that Rubedo is either in a neutral position towards Albedo, or will at the very least be freed from her control the moment Einzelgaun orders it. Keeping in mind that Rubedo is the Ultima Ratio of Nezarec, it makes sense that she wouldn't be easily controlled or manipulated. But with that in mind, Nigredo once stated that Rubedo will be responsible for a major disaster. This could either mean that she will destroy something really important on Albedo's order, Renna for example, who might actually be able to outsmart her and who can't be brought back via the guild system, or that perhaps Rubedo will strike down Albedo the very moment she goes against the Grey Tomb of Nezarec's interest, which would make the prophecy even more tragic. In any case, it could shake Nezarec to the point where Ainz essentially packs his stuff and leaves, never to return, which would be a sad and harrowing ending. Watching the Grey Tomb of Nezarec build up and expand, only to collapse due to betrayal and misunderstandings, basically ending the story of Einzelgaun's world conquest the way it started. But perhaps it will be the exact opposite. Einzelgaun might be coaxed into becoming way more active in Nezarec, if things in the Elven Kingdom really go south, if Mare or Aura get lost, ambushed, or otherwise put into danger. Einzelgaun might wage an all-out war himself. Imagine contact is lost with the Twin Floor Guardians, and Ainz in his residence somewhere in the Elven Kingdom gets surprised by Lupus Regina, who teleported in with grievous wounds in order to inform His Majesty that the Twin Guardians were ambushed by an unknown enemy, either Zeshi or the Elven King, before Lupus Regina succumbs to her injuries. This could lead to Ainz returning to the forefront of essentially everything. Confronted with the possible death of Aura and Mare, he returns to the tomb, and while Demiurge readies the army, Ainz enters the council chamber of the 41 Supreme Beings, kneels before Buku Buku's seat, and swears upon his very own life that he will find the Twin Guardians by any means necessary. And while his dark aura plunges the room into a pitch-black void, where only the glow of Ainz's eyes and his world item can be seen, Nezarec for the first time in his story unleashes everything it has. And after 2 volumes of massacres, Ainz changed, embracing his role as the undead overlord, and taking revenge on everyone who attempts to hurt Aura and Mare, as well as on any conceivable threat the new world might offer. After the theocracy and the Elven Kingdoms are conquered, the same way the Kingdom of Rias Tais is, Nezarec will shift its gaze east, where the Beastman army invades, and where Platinum Dragonlord's influence is at its peak, leaving an open end to the whole story. Another possible ending would be that Ainz manages to acquire wild magic and control it to such a degree that his power would rival the Dragon Emperor, who presumably summoned the players and world items into the new world. And perhaps the last chapter of Overlord would then skip the rest of the world conquest, and open some 610 years after Ainz's arrival. In our world, more than 600 years would have passed as well, and as the last remnants of humanity fight over the scrap of human civilization, the sky turns blood red, as undead and demons pour forth from a rift between the worlds. At the forefront of the conquest, the ruler of another world, seeking to bring the rest of humankind under his rule. But while the mental image of Demiurge in his red suit, entering a meeting of CEOs, COOs, and Oreos only for them to notice that the tale isn't related to any kinks or cosplay, would be more than just satisfying. I believe this ending is the most unrealistic one, since 1 is just too tired of dealing with the day-to-day shenanigans of the Great Tomb. Another ending. Upon entering the Great Tomb of Nazarick and Renna on a frequent basis, Clive might actually be able to take over just kidding. But 1 mentioned on multiple occasions that he misses the old way on how the guild used to govern itself. That is by simple majority vote, on individual decisions. So for example, if all 41 Supreme Beings were assembled and discuss how to best use the caloric stone, then all of the 41 Supreme Beings would vote on the issue. And since they are 41 Supreme Beings, this would mean that the vote will always be decisive. That is, if no one abstains from it. And therefore the group as a whole would be able to decide what should happen. But if, for example, just a handful of Supreme Beings are present in any given situation, a raid for example, then instead of telling the monsters encountered, the end boss challenged, or the enemy guild met to wait a few hours until everybody from Nazarick was online and could vote on the issue, only the couple of Supreme Beings present right now would vote on the issue, since only they were affected right now by it. So therefore, despite it being a voting-based system, it doesn't require hours upon hours of debate, but is representing a good compromise between fast decisions on one hand and making sure everybody's voice is heard on the other. After all, while all members were more or less Yggdrasil pro gamers, it was still a game they played, and therefore it should be more on the lines of a joyful, entertaining experience rather than feel like work. And maybe, just maybe, after the last battle is fought, 1 will put together a parliament inside of Nazarick and one in the Sorcerer Kingdom and its tributary states, and let the people govern themselves, which would allow Einzelgaun to finally retire. And perhaps the ending of Overlord isn't even something spectacular. No final invasion of the rest of the New World, no grand battle against the rest of the Dragon Lords, no interdimensional Earth-conquering shenanigans, no or just a minor albedo conspiracy, no climb conquering Nazarick, just peace and happiness. After Einzelgaun and by extent Overlord's author had to bear the burden of leading Nazarick and all of its well-written interesting characters for so long, he might finally be able to leave, with peace at his mind, knowing that his work is done and the Great Tomb of Nazarick as well as the Sorcerer Kingdom is safe and prosperous. 1, after being in a position of overwhelming responsibility for so long, might actually either join his own adventurer guild, in the guise of Momon, while Pandora's actor plays the Undead King, and 1 is going on an adventure. After Platinum Dragonlord and the Theocracy are defeated, nobody should be able to tell 1 and Momon apart anyway, and therefore 1 might go away on a journey to travel the rest of the New World, like Frodo did at the end of Lord of the Rings. 1 would finally be free to live a life full of adventure and excitement, able to connect with people as equals, instead of having to maintain his face as Overlord. And all of this could be disguised as an exploration mission, so that the Great Tomb hasn't to worry about him. After all, if this is part of the 10,000-year plan, and if this plan had to include him traveling the world for a few centuries, well, everyone has to do their best to make the plan work, and therefore leave Einzelgaun alone for a while. And personally speaking, this would be my favorite ending. Just 1 living his unlife as he wishes, and not as his responsibilities demand. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to Adam J, Al Capone, Andy, Angel of Death, Bad Girl Yee, Boyzilla, Chrissy, Diabetic Centaur, Dystopia, Elika Birch Leaf, Failis Catus, Feral Shivan, Gigafight, Ghost of Epicness, Hector Moreno, Black Phoenix Emperor, Hoss, Jason, Kleinator, Chromius, Lars, Lord Touch Me, Lord Ulbert Elaine Oddle, Luces Ollie, Majima, Matt, Matt C, Marcos, Mr. Shoes, Mindless Rev, Minnow 13, Mirtis, Nfirias Potion, Primus 11, Sasuga 1-sama, Sebastian, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Surge, Sparkly Unicorn, the Orc Warboss Rag Ad Smasher, Vash Hawkeye, Zoggo Bane of a Lot, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, over and out.